Hi, everyone. Welcome to Digital Experience. This is our iteration retro meeting. Today is Thursday, February 9th, and we'll be going over some of the things that went well over the last 2 weeks and some of the things to improve on. I've got the first couple of points here. A bit of tough news this morning, but otherwise we kicked off our quarter and we kicked off our year the other day. And that meeting was, I think, informative, and I appreciate the leadership kind of making it fun. We had some new kind of challenges and offsite type things that were a lot of fun. I also for sure won the scavenger hunt. I enjoyed it a lot, and I'm hoping we can deliver on those things this year. Um, and then the other thing is AMAs, which we've been doing for like a year now, which have been like the highlight of our sprints, are coming to an end. Like I think we've got a couple more weeks of them. And I'd love to get everyone's opinions on keeping that time blocked and either starting the list of AMAs again or, just doing team games or stuff like drop in casual type games or whatever. But yeah, so maybe thoughts on that before it ends. Uh, Next is Lauren.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to Miracle for brainstorming, ways that we could recognize a logged in user on the marketing site. There's many ways we could do it, and kind of just putting some thinking around that, and then coming up with a plan of attack for one of the ways which we might do that. Ilsa's got a +1 there.
Yeah, it's great work. It's like so cool to see that it's like, oh, this could happen. It's really exciting.
And then I've got the next section, things to improve on. This iteration, we had a couple of incidents kind of stemming from some work security was doing, making our buyer experience repo private, which is fair and valid. This kind of, I guess, got communicated higher up the chain and never really made its way down to us since, they didn't think it would have an engineering impact. And then it did, and kind of took us down, and it leads to a loss of credibility. If it looks like digital experience broke something or buyer experience repo broke something, it's not a great look for us. So hopefully we can improve that like end-to-end communication or top to bottom communication going forward. Next is Megan.
Yeah, just some things I've found when working across the repository, just some friendly reminders. First is just like think about the use of vIf versus vShow. If there's something that you need to render on a page that like we need analytics for on page load, it's not gonna work if you're using vShow or vIf on something. Just yeah, be mindful when you use those. Second, I'm still catching some uses of rendering Markdown in the typography component. We've kind of mentioned this like 2 or 3 times in the past year. Please try not to do that. I don't really think it breaks anything, but when I have to go in a page and like in the dev tools and troubleshoot something and it's just like screaming a bunch of errors at me and I'm like, it's not fun. And like we're moving so fast sometimes to make these pages, like I know things happen, but we're even missing these in the code reviews. So I hope some of these reminders to kind of slow down and look through these will help. And the final one is if you're making a card for your page or section and the card is clickable and you also have a button component in there that's to the same link, it does not work out great. You don't use a button inside a tag. What's happening is if the card has an analytic tag on it and the button does, and someone clicks on that button, the analytics are firing twice, I've learned. So be mindful. I know the button component's nice because it has all the styles in it, but it's not having the HTML syntax and functionality we think it is. So don't have an A tag and an A tag. Event bubbling happens. But cool, that's all I had. Thanks.
Javi, do you want to vocalize your point?
Yeah, I was just gonna bring up that We've talked about like reviewer guidelines for us, like for this team over the course of the maturity of this, sort of deal. I feel like it would make sense to kind of like revisit those at some point because I think after like a passing of time, I find that it's sometimes unclear to know what I should be looking for in terms of a review. So I think it'd be a good idea to like, I don't know, have all of that be updated. We can go in, make an MR, get people's opinions, and then go from there.
Oh yeah, I was gonna mention, so like when I was writing all this stuff down to mention today, I was like, man, I wonder if we can just automate something. Like I've mentioned the markdown and the typography thing so many times. What if I make like an ESLint custom thing? I've never done that before, and I looked into it and I was like, this is really hard and it's gonna be a lot of work. I don't know if it's worth it, but I can keep looking into it if we think it's worth it. But I like looked in there and I was like, this is scary, scary stuff. Okay, next is Philza.
Just a quick ask. We discussed this in our design meeting this week, but I'm doing a terrible job at this. But if you see issues that say like UX or design and like the top part of it, can you just rename them to like brackets UX and then also brackets ing so it's all like consistent? I'm doing a very bad job of it, so would love everyone's help to do this. I don't care what it is for engineering, Lauren, Justin, if you all have an opinion on it, let me know. But just for the UX one in particular, just keep it as square brackets UX. No, Laura, I think it's like on an Laura's question in the doc was, am I still reviewing all the customer facing changes? With the Q1 plan, it's a little bit easier now because it's like we know what's getting pushed. So the designers make sure they get overview, and as long as it's in the Q1 plan and we have designers approval, I'm obviously like looking at the designs before they're going into engineering. But as long as it's in the Q1 plan, it's okay that the designers have approval rights on that. If it's anything beyond that and not within that scope, then please tag me. Cool. Anything else before we wrap up? Okay, well, thanks
I'll
everyone.
end it there.